Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome to the Art Cake Coach podcast. My name is Cristina Revalo. I'm a sugar paste modeling artist, a teacher, a coach for cake artists, Cake Friends Day creative community manager, award winning cake decorator, and representative of international cake competitions. I'm so happy to have you here. If you are a cake artist, a cake enthusiast, or a baker who is seeking some help, in anything related to your time management, social media management, setting your goals for yourself or your business, your mindset towards your business, or even a few hints of how to be part of the international cake community, cake collaboration, and cake competitions, you are in the right place. So, welcome to today's episode. Well, hello, my sweet friends. Welcome to another episode of the Art K Coach podcast. Christina here. I am so happy to have you back. I just saw today on the Anchor platform that now they're featuring the amount of followers you have on a platform. And I'm so happy to know that I have followers on Spotify. People actually follow me. Wow, yeah, great. Good news for me. I don't care if it's 1 or 100. I'm just happy that somebody's listening. So, welcome to today's episode. Today we will be talking about time management as we have been doing during the whole month of February, and we're going to be talking about the last class we had. So, this will be the last episode on time management, and it's going to be a little bit of an overview and a resume of what we saw on the last class on our private time management class group. So stay tuned, stay with me, and listen to this last episode on time management here on the Art K Coach podcast. Hello, my friends. I'm back with you. Today, my voice sounds a little bit nasal because I'm going. I'm getting out of a flu right now. I was under the weather on on the weekend, so that's why my voice sounds like this. But I'm gonna try to make the episode anyway because I love the podcast. So I just hope I don't start coughing in the middle of the episode. Sorry if that happens. So, like I mentioned before, today's episode is it's an overview, a resume of our class number 4 of the time management group. And I have a few news that I want to share with you before we tackle the actually making our time management system. Okay, this is what the class was about. But I have a few news for next month and for our community Cake Friends Stay Creative. Next month is the anniversary of Cake for Stay Creative. It's been 3 years already. Wow, I cannot believe it. And if you want to know more the story of this group and how this group started, let me invite you to listen to the I believe is the first episode that I recorded has to do with that. If it's not the first, it's the second. But listen to both of them. I'm just checking here my notes. I think it was episode number 2 where we start where I talk about the creation of Cake Friends Stay Creative, how it all started. So I'm not going to go back to that today. Just go and check the episode. It's actually fun to listen how everything started because Cake Friends Stay Creative was the beginning of a lot of things for me. The beginning of this podcast, the beginning of a change in my cake decorating career, the beginning of the coaching career as well. So it all started there, and we have some special activities there next month. On our anniversary is on the 14th, so on the 13th and 14th of March, we will be giving live demos for free with amazing teachers from around the world. We have people from different countries and with great backgrounds, great teachers, award winning teachers, and you would not want to miss that. So, I'm going to be leaving the link here so you can join the group because these live demos are only for members. But join the group, it's going to be fun anyway. You're going to love it there. So, there is one news. We're also releasing a collaboration inspire on creativity also to celebrate our anniversary. We have many activities in the Arcade Coach group on Facebook and on the private groups. We have two extra time management classes for the members of the paid private group. I'm going to be leaving the information about that group at the end of the episode, as I always do. That is the coaching group for cake artists. We have two, one in Spanish and one in English. So we're going to have two extra classes of the time management or coaching sessions like we always do, at least once a week. We have one, and I have a very special master class coming. It's a whole it's a course. It's I call it a master class, but I think this is more like a is a workshop. Is a whole course of 4 hours on teaching. A lot of you have been telling me how much you want to change your career as a cake artist towards teaching your craft, towards starting to share what you know. But many of you have issues on how to organize your curriculum, how to teach, even how to manage the hours of teaching, how to price your classes. So all of that is going to be work on this workshop. I'm going to be talking more about this next month, but I just wanted you to know that this is coming up. And next month of March, we're going to have very special episodes here on the RK Coach podcast, because we have two amazing interviews already done. I have them. I have two more coming up, but I don't know if they will be ready for March. But we will have the amazing Portia Kimball. What a woman. We had so much fun on our interview. She was so candid to share so many things with us. And the beautiful, beautiful soul, Mark Kevin Reyes from Philippines. What a beautiful, soul fulfilling interview we had with him. And it's funny because we start talking about cakes and we end up talking about many things, like we always do here in the podcast. So it starts with cakes, but it ended up in other things. So I want to invite you to keep listening to the podcast and support these great artists that came to have this chat with me. And of course, as always, leave me your feedback. Tell me what do you think about all of these episodes, and I will leave you a shout out for next week. We had a few comments last time. Amin, I know you're listening. You are one of them. But like I said to you, your comment was so special that it deserved a whole episode just for that. So I will be doing a special episode on the support that I get from my listeners. And we're going to do that in the cut. And maybe next week, maybe the week ahead. I'm not sure yet, because for sure the Portia interview is going to be released next Tuesday. So those are the news for today, okay? And what we will be doing on March. A lot of things are coming up. You know, I always get fired up at the beginning of the month. It's like, yeah, we're going to do many projects and we're going to do many things. However, it's funny because I'm actually toning it down. Believe me or not, I'm toning it down because I need to slow down. My body, as you can see, this is the second flu I get in less than a month. Or it's, I don't know, since the beginning of the year, I had two or three already. And I think it's my body to telling me that it's like, Christina, just slow down. You need to slow down. So I promise I will slow down. I'm promising myself I will slow down. So let's tackle this episode. And today is, of course, about time management, setting goals, timelines, priority metrics, and time blocking. So you can really create a system to organize your time. So stay with me. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Set realistic goals was one of the priorities we had since the beginning of the year. As you know, the RK Coach private group and here on the podcast, I have been sharing with you goal setting during the whole month of January, and the importance of this. And people who has been with me since the beginning on the private groups now get it. It's like, unless we really know what we want and where we're going, how are we going to actually manage our time if we don't know what we want? So we set realistic goals. I'm not going to go through that again. If you want to know more about setting goals, listen to the episodes on the month of January, because I think it's the last six episodes from this one, because actually I gave you most of the details of what we did in the private group about setting goals. Setting goals, having a timeline, breaking down your goals into achievable tasks. We went through the SMART filter and the HAM approach as well. And the important part is to give deadlines to all of the milestones that you need to achieve in order to achieve the final goal. I'm saying achieve a lot. So let's recap. You set your goals, you created a timeline because you broke down the goals into achievable tasks or milestones in order to get to the big picture, right? And next step is you have to give dates to all those milestones so you can know, okay, by this time I need to finish this, by this time I need to finish another one. I'm going to give you an example. Like I said, we talked about this before, but in case this is your first time listening, the example is to work backwards. So what you're going to do is, if your main goal, let's say, is participate in a cake collaboration, I need to know the submission date, the date that I'm going to deliver my work. Let's say, for the sake of an example, that is going to be the 1st of December, okay, of this year. That means that, let's say, I want to have my project done a month before the deadline, because that way, if something comes along, and if I have a new clients, or I can't work at the pace that I want to work, I will have a whole month of extra time in case that something happens. So my project is going to be done on the 1st of November. I'm working backwards. That means I have to start a month prior to that. It will be on the 1st of October, right? So I'm keep working backwards. Before I start my project, I need to have the materials that I'm going to use for the project. So I'm going to buy my materials 15 days before. On the 5th, by the 15th of September, I have to have my materials with me. But before I get the materials, I need to know what project I'm doing. So I'm probably going to look for inspirations on the topic of the collaboration. I will get my inspiration by the 1st of September. So that means that what I actually need to be doing for this collaboration will start on the 1st of September, not before that and not after that, because I have enough time to do it. What happens with this? First, I'm not thinking right now about a collaboration that I have in December, because I don't have to. I know with plenty of time, I can only start on the 1st of September to work for December. Okay, perfect. So I don't think about that anymore. It's something that's removed from my head. I have all figured out, and I don't have to think about that until the date that it starts. You can take other things into consideration, like if you need to be active in the groups of the collaboration, if you need to post in those groups, if you know all the administrative information about the group, like where to send, who to send your pictures and what email and all of that. So all of this information needs you need to have it before you start. If you need to plan that information as well in your timeline, do it. But the good thing is, I don't have to think about that right now, because I know I only need to think about that in the 1st of September. So that's one of the things that we did on the class. We sat down with an example, we did the whole timeline, and we work backwards. Now that we know what to do and when to do it, we are going to break down into daily activities. Of course, not about this example, because this example will only be valid for the end of the year, but for everyday activities, for the things that I have to do every day. If we transport ourselves to the 1st, okay, so it's the 1st of September, I'm going to start doing this. What is the things that I have to do? And we created in the class a to-do list of the things that we have to do, of course, and how to make that to-do list practical, achievable, and not overwhelming. So we're going to talk about that in a second. And today I want to talk to you about one of our sponsors, which is Saracino. Yesterday, I had an amazing surprise when I received two beautiful cases of Saracino products, and I have to tell you, it has been a while since I used pastel scultura from their products, and I was so surprised of how good it was. I used it first, I think it was, I don't know if it was 3 years ago. I was new with modeling chocolate. I didn't know what I was doing. Now I have a little more experience with it, and the result is amazing. Not only because it has the softness and the malleability of the modeling chocolate, but it stays. I mean, if you model it and you leave it for a couple of minutes, it just stays the way you model it. But again, you can go back and change it if you want it. It's so good to when you want to blend two pieces together. I am amazed, especially because I'm not the one that uses modeling chocolate or anything related to modeling chocolate. Now, pasta school today, Saracino has modeling chocolate and has this product called pasta scultura, and I have to recommend it 100%. If you're a fan of modeling chocolate, use that one because I know you're going to love it. And I have to thank my friends at Saracino for all the beautiful products they sent yesterday. I recommend them because I love to use them and I know they work. My go-to for all my cake collaborations, for all my cake competitions. I do not do any serious modeling piece without a Saracino pasta model. So thank you, Saracino, for being a sponsor of this podcast. Thank you, Saracino, for the beautiful products you sent me yesterday. And as I always invite you to go and check on their free magazine, We Love Pastry, filled with tutorials from amazing artists, the latest news on the industry, and of course, all the information about their products. I will be leaving the link to their main page today because today is February 28th, and that means that their monthly magazines will come out tomorrow. So today I will be leaving you the link to the Saracino We Love Pastry magazine main webpage, so you can check out all of their previous magazines issues and also wait for the tomorrow issue of March. Don't miss it because it's going to be amazing. Once again, thank you, Saracino, for being part of the Art Cake Coach. Okay, so the next part of our class was when we talk about how to prioritize. Most of you know that you need to have a to do list. I highly recommend your to do list to be as short as possible because if it's too long, if you have too many things to do in one day, you will feel overwhelmed. You will feel like a loser because you didn't complete all the tasks that you had. Settled for that day. It's not going to be productive. So keep it short. Okay. Also, you don't know what happened during the day. Something might come up, and you cannot. You know you need to have time to introduce any extra things that will come your way. So don't make your to-do list too long, and keep your task to the minimum as possible. But of course, these tasks need to be prioritized. How do you prioritize? There is a metrics that I learned when I was a teacher. I started teaching very young. I was 20, I don't know, 22, 23 when I started teaching ESL English. I didn't have much experience, but I was very proactive, very good at it, and I love to teach. And I was also promoted very early in age to be the coordinator of the English department for high school. Now I wonder, it was good because kids actually still until today, I'm in touch with some of my students, and they say it's funny because we saw you like the English department coordinator, but you were not that much older than us. My students were the oldest were 18 and I was 23. I mean, there's not a big difference there, but they took me seriously and I learned a lot. I had to learn a lot in order to uh, really do the job. And one of the things that I learned was this metrics is how to prioritize your time because we had a lot of things to do in the day. And you really need to organize yourself. So you're going to organize it, or the tasks that you have to do daily, you will organize it in the following way. First, you're going to, the priority metrics ask you two questions: what is important and what's urgent? And then you organize it in levels of high or low, importance and urgency. The first task you're always going to complete is the task that is highly important and highly urgent, okay? Because that needs to be done. In second and third place, that gives you a little bit room for maneuver there. You can decide between something that is highly important but low in urgency, or something that is not so important but is highly urgent. Okay, so between those two, you're going to decide which one you're going to do next, and always ask yourself if you can delegate one of those tasks. Okay, especially if it's for the working environment, there's always people who can help you, or you can work in teams. But of course, we work as cake artists, we work alone. But maybe one of those tasks is, I don't know, cleaning the dishes. Maybe somebody at home can help you with that and you don't have to do it. So which task can you delegate? And in the low one, the last one you're going to think about is the one that is low in both and importance and urgency. And if necessary, don't do it or reschedule it for another day. So we also talk about priority metrics in this class, because it is the only way to really organize. I'm not going to say the only way, but it's a very good way to organize um, your tasks during the day. And if you keep this in mind and keep a short to-do list, believe me, you're going to have very productive days. And what I mean productive is you're going to look at your list, everything is going to be crossover. Everything is going to be like, like thick, done. I did it. So you're going to feel good about yourself. Now, another thing that we need to think about when we talk about creating a time management system is really knowing how much time we have left. I don't like to say that, but how much time we don't have compromised during the week or the day, so we know how many tasks we can put in there. This is what happened. We usually have fixed activities, right? In my case, is the teaching and the coaching. I have hours of teaching during the week that I know I'm just sitting down and teaching. That's all I do. And I have coaching calls and coaching groups that I sit down and I coach them. That's it. So when I do that, I cannot be doing anything else. That's a fixed activity that it has to be done in that hour. So what I do is I have like an Excel sheet. There is I actually have a weekly calendar from Google Sheets. It's free. You can check it out in Google, and it gives you a whole week, so you can just color and block with colors the hours that are busy, and you can write down whatever it's mm, being done on that hour. I like to do that because visually, I need to know how many hours I have. So I block specific activities that I do every day in the morning, my morning routine, waking up, exercising, taking the dog out, having breakfast. So I block that time. Um, that's sacred. My lunchtime, sacred. So I'm going to have it too. My teaching time, my coaching time. And I also block time for office work. I call it office work, checking the emails, creating things on Canva for the groups, or responding to comments on the group and all of that. Sorry about the interruption, guys. I just had to have a bit of a sip of water. Like I said, I'm getting out of a flu, and I'm trying to do my best to record this episode. But like I was saying, I like to have things visually blocked in different colors. And what I do is, with the space that I have empty during the week, I know how much more I can take. If I can work on a cake collaboration, if I can work on a new cake coming up, if I can have time to sit down and create a new course or create content for the social media or for my groups. All of that, I know how much time I have, because those are my movable activities, are things that I have to do, but I can I can move them around the week. I don't have any specific time to do it. And that way it becomes visual. I really know what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. And of course, if you want a system that works, you need to think of the following. You need, first of all, to get everything out of your head and write it down. When things are in our heads, they tend to be bigger and more problematic, and we think is the end of the world. And then we write it down, and it's like, oh, well, actually, I didn't have that many things to do this week. Funny. I thought I was going to be busier. So, no, just write it down, get it out of your head. Prioritize, of course, so you know about the time, the importance, the deadlines, everything. Set a manageable amount of tasks to do, block time, like I just mentioned. For me, it works to set my success on setting time to work on an activity instead of finishing an activity, unless I'm working on a deadline, of course. But remember the Pomodoro technique we talked about before? I rather know that during this week I work this many hours on this activity if it doesn't need to be finished by that week, of course. And for me, that is, sorry, for me, that is success. And of course, my friends, adjust. It's very important that we're flexible and we adjust when things are not going our way. And we know, okay, this is not working. We need to adjust it. We need to do things differently in order to be done. And just get things done. That's it. Just do it. Just do it. Don't procrastinate. Today I was listening to a podcast, a very good podcast that I recommend. It's funny because I keep finding all this podcast and all these people that I'm like, I found this podcast, is so good. And everyone's like, yeah, we know her. I'm like, oh, okay. Smell Robbins, you probably know who I'm talking about. And I was like, oh, she's so good. I was like, everybody's like, yeah, we know her. Don't you know her? Aren't you a coach? It's like, yeah, but I mean, I work with cake people. I work with people who bakes cakes. So I'm a little bit out of some of these coaching celebrities. But anyway, I found her. She's amazing. I love her. I mean, such an inspiration. And she was telling about her, I think it's 5 second rule. Just do it. Like 5 seconds, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and start. And just do it. Once you start, it just happens. You just keep going. And she's absolutely right because I've been there. It's like I didn't know about her rule, but actually I have done it. It's like, okay, Christina, just do it. It's like just jumping in the water. Once you're in the water, you need to swim. So it's like that's what I do. Yesterday I have to be honest, I have to confess, I've been procrastinating to create a piece that it needs to be done. The deadline is approaching, and I'm like, I wasn't like, no, I'm not in the mood. My mind is so focused on my coaching work that the creative work has taken like uh, a second background there. So it's like it's in the background, and I really needed it. It's like I was actually feeling the need of being creative again, and but I keep next time. Well, tomorrow. I'll do. Oh, I didn't have time today, so I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, me, the one that is telling you to organize your time, I was doing it. But I'm being honest, we all do it. And yesterday I was like, okay, you just start. 1, 2, 3, go, go. And once I started, I got so into the zone of the creative part that that's when I was using the Saracino products. Of course, receiving the Saracino products helped because it's like you have a new toy and you want to play with your new toy, and it was amazing. It was amazing because I started, I did it, and it's almost done by now. So thank you, Mel Robbins, for your 5 second rules and for your amazing podcast. I know she's probably not going to listen to this, but anyway, I recommend it. Please listen to her. She's really good. And that's how things happen. You just get them done. That's all. So that's how you create a good system. The next step in all of our groups is sit down with all the information I just gave you today and in the past 4 episodes. Sit down, write them down, and create your own time management system. It has to be yours, it has to work for you. Otherwise, it's not going to work. If you copycat something from other people, it's going to work for a couple of weeks maybe, but then it's going to be like, this is not me. I'm tired. I won't do it. So it has to work with you and create the habit. Everything is about habits. The way we do everything, the way we think, the way we achieve things, the way we eat, the way we exercise. Everything is a habit. So just create the habit of having a good time management. That's all. That's all I can say. It works for me. I'm like, but of course, we all have our days. Like me yesterday, who was procrastinating to do something, but I took my own advice and I did it. So I really hope that these advices work for you as well. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Again, I'm sorry for my voice. It's not. I'm not in in the best shape, but I didn't want to stop doing this podcast. I didn't want to leave you this week without a podcast episode. And I have so many ideas for episodes coming up besides our interviews. They're coming next month that probably you're going to be surprised with more than an episode a week. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here. Sending love to all of you who are listening. Those 74, I think 74 followers on Spotify. I'm sending you love. Thank you so much for supporting my podcast. And especially thank you for listening, and hope that everything that I say here, or at least some of the things that I say here, will be of help to you. So I say goodbye. As I always say goodbye, my friends. Stay safe and stay creative. See you next time.
My sweet, sweet friend, if you like this episode, if you love this podcast, I will kindly ask you to leave me a started review, whatever you're listening to this episode, that is available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and I think a couple of other ones. But in any of those, just leave me a review, leave me a couple of stars or 5 stars if you like it. So people will find this episode, the algorithm would put it out there, and more of our K community will benefit from it. Share it with your friends. Download the episode and share them. Share them on your social media and tag me, because I will answer you back. Of course I will. And send me comments, send me your review, send me your feedback. Even if you don't agree with anything that I say, I would love to hear your opinion. You can find me in any of my social media accounts. I will be leaving the links here on this episode description. I'm on Facebook as The Art Cake Experience. I am on Instagram at Christina_The Art Cake Experience. Or you can even find me on YouTube, my YouTube channel, The Art Cake Experience channel. So thank you so much for listening. And please leave me your review and leave me your comments and your feedback. I would love to hear what you have to say about any of these episodes.